I am not left-handed. I don't even know what that's called. Hold on a second. I should know. I don't know. Yes, it's called Time to Leave. Of course it is. Right. Good morning. Gerald Michael Anderson here, spinster of this parish. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme. There's no reason why you can't, because a trained staff are waiting there to hear what you have to say. A team that's been trained within an inch of their lives not to be shocked by the things that are revealed by your good selves. The number to ring if you want to contact them, and indeed me eventually via them, is 08459. That sounds very complicated. I don't know what I'm talking about. 08459 555 678. That's the number. Email address is gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And for those of you for whom, well, life could have been better, text messaging service 81771. Hello to John Paul Dara, who's pretending to be working, as indeed many people are at this stage in their lives, because they know cuts are coming. He would much rather be in the Imperial Bar in Bangor with George. Well, what can I say? If I was Jewish, I would say, enough! Enough with the Chilean miners already! Enough! Enough! Also, a gentleman says to me, why don't you play the whole record of Keep It Cash playing I've Been Everywhere? That's an ad on TV. I don't think it's on yet. But it's not a whole record. It's not a whole record. It's just 59 seconds of I've Been Everywhere, recorded by a Johnny Cash a tribute band called Keep It Cash. But I'll tell you what I will do. My good friend Ralph McLean has given me another tribute, Johnny Cash tribute band song. It's called Son of Cash, S-U-N, Son of Cash, and it's his version of, Johnny Cash's supposed version of the Sex Pistols. What's it called? Pretty Vacant. That's it. I was going to say Johnny Vacant, meaning Johnny Rotten. So I'll play I've Been Everywhere, the 59 seconds of that, and then I'll play Pretty Vacant by Son of Cash. And if that doesn't satisfy you, I don't know what does. A gentleman writes to me and explains that, many people in this country are married to wonderful women and they don't appreciate it. The man who sits outside in the car in the supermarket waiting for his wife to carry all the groceries out. There's many men like that. I was watching a few like that the other day. I was down in the supermarket and buying, things for me to survive on. And in each supermarket car park, there's always about 5 different cars with a man sitting in it. And you say to yourself, oh, there must be something wrong with that man. He mustn't be able to go in. Let me tell you this. There's nothing wrong with him. He doesn't want to go in because he doesn't have to. His wife is in buying all the groceries and she'll bag them all and carry them out. And if she's lucky, he may open the boot. Right, and here's an encounter with one such lady like that. A gentleman writes to me and he said, I had a strange encounter in the supermarket the other day. I came across a wee woman in the dairy and processed meat aisle. Those of you who don't go to supermarkets will not realise that there is a dairy and processed meat aisle. Sometimes you get the cheese there too, but not the meat. As I stood shoulder to shoulder with the wee woman, she picked up a package of ham and said at the top of her voice, oh, he likes that. I'll have that. He likes that. There was a silence. She wasn't speaking to anyone in particular. She was speaking to herself. She picked up another package and she said, oh, no, he doesn't like that. Silence again. Once again, she picked up something and said, I wonder what that is. Yet again, she peered at something and said, I wonder what he liked that. Feeling a little embarrassed, I said, we're spoiled for choice here, aren't we? She never even acknowledged my presence by either look or speech. She was in a world of her own. As I walked on, I heard her say, oh, good, those are his favourites. I don't know what the wee woman's name is, but one thing I do know, somewhere in this country sits a little man in front of a fire thanking God for his special caring wife, a man who will probably die very soon because he'll be fed to death.
Listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Bangor, Bellarina, Benborough, Lisbon City, Ballantoy, Pomeroy, Brushing, So Pretty, Lisnaskey, Tandergee, Money, Glass Points, Pass, Killalay, Monterey, Sign Mills, Fork Hill, Helens Bay, Kilray, Donegal, Mullaghmore, Ockapoka, Firemantown, Akadooey, Draperstown. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Ballymena, Armoy, Belcoo, Aughnacloy, Kerry Bridge, Carrador, Castle Dawson, Moneymore, Carryduff, Coleraine, Cookstown, Lisbane, Inniskill, Derrylin, Jonesboro's where I've been, Cullyhanna, Tobermore, Ballyhalbert, Abbotshire, Brookborough, Drummondess, North, South, East, West. I've been everywhere.
Okay, so it's overkill. Why not?
There's no point in asking, you'll get no reply. Oh, please remember that I don't decide. I got no reason, it's all too much. You'll always find me out to lunch. We're so pretty, oh so pretty. I said we're vacant. We're so pretty, oh so pretty. Yeah, man, we're vacant. We're so pretty, oh so pretty. I said we're vacant now, and we don't care. Don't ask us to attend, cause we're not all there. I don't pretend, man, cause I don't care. I've no time for illusion, cause too much is real. So stop your cheap comments, cause we know how we feel. We're so pretty, oh so pretty. I said we're vacant. We're so pretty, oh so pretty. Yeah, man, we're vacant. We're so pretty, oh so pretty. I said we're vacant now, and we don't care. There's no point in asking, you'll get no reply. Oh, please remember that I don't decide. I got no reason, it's all too much. You'll always find me out to lunch. We're so pretty, oh so pretty. I said we're vacant. We're so pretty, oh so pretty. Yeah, man, we're vacant. We're so pretty, oh so pretty. I said we're vacant now, and we don't care.
That's a tribute band called Son of Cash, S-U-N of Cash. I'm not quite sure if we can get that or not. I don't think so. I just don't know. Maybe if somebody will tell me, I'll be able to pass it on. There seems to be a lot of Johnny Cash tribute bands, but there are more drifters, I suppose. And they're not drifters. They always say they're the same drifters. I don't know how many drifters there are. A friend of mine, a musician, he played with one version of the Drifters. I was talking to him one time, and I told him about a comedian I'd seen on television one time who came out on stage, and he said, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be here. Before I go on, can I ask you a question?" And the audience kind of looked at him and said, "Anyone here never been in the Drifters?" He didn't think it was very funny. A gold medal and chain has been lost in the Andersonstown area of Belfast. Lost last Saturday or Sunday. Please contact the show, and the number, of course, is 08459 555 678. A number of people commenting that the first song played on this programme by a band who will be in live after the 11 o'clock news, I Am Not Left-Handed, sounded a bit like U2. And said, sounds too much like U2. Well, I'll ask them, do they think they sound like U2? See, I don't like U2 and never have. And the reason why I don't like U2 has nothing to do with their music, just I don't like Bono. Because I met Bono and U2 before they were stars, and I didn't like them very much then. I have no reason to change my mind now. But their music all sounds like, it's not music, they're anthems, aren't they? I don't know. Anyway, yes, I'll ask them if they feel as if they sound like U2 and if that's a good idea. And, you can do nothing. I did a thing last night, which I've never done before. I was driving my car, a humble Mercedes, up past the, where was I going? I can't remember, Victoria. What do you call that street? Whatever you call the street. Anyway, I was going up towards Hard Place, okay? I was passing Hard Place. And I said to myself, no, I think I'll park this car here. I think I'll turn left here. And I turned left, and I suddenly realised, to my complete, as they say, chagrin, that I had gone up a one-way street. And there were 4 lines of traffic heading straight for me. I couldn't believe that I'd actually done it. I don't know how I did it. I'd never done it before, and I did it last night. So I immediately went right up the footpath and to let the people go past in case they would knock me down or indeed crash into me. And I was spotted. A man says, "Ask Gerry if he knows that Hard Place in Belfast is a one-way street." He was seen in his big Merc. It's not a big Merc, it's a little one. And someday it will be mine. It's not a dear one. And it's second-hand. He was seen in his big Merc pointed the wrong way in Hard Street last night. Gav in Glengormley. Can you do nothing? And also a man wants me to do an impersonation of a sausage in a frying pan. It's not easy to do that. I have to be in the mood for it. I'm sorry. John Darcy's going to come in now in a few minutes to sing a little song for us. It's his new single, which is out tomorrow. This is a man who was in here a couple of weeks ago. Great, great singer. I'll tell you about him after.
She squinted into the light. Those western rays were far too bright, burning on her skin. Rubbed the sleep out of her eyes and turned her back on darker skies. Said it's time to let it in. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. Walk the path with sunburned feet, drawn by a distant beat to the solitary shore of glistening sands, broken shells, 100,000 fare thee wells, and something new she could not ignore. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. I can see you, better under big blue western skies. Western rays were far too bright on that solitary shore of glistening sands, broken shells, 100,000 fare thee wells, and something new she could not ignore. Something new she could not ignore. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. I can see you, so much better
Sorry. You can't get the staff here. Sorry, we had a little misfunction there. John Darcy, it's your fault.
I could hear you in my head.
I know, but you could hear me. But it was your fault. You came in here and changed everything. Everything was great before you came in. So, and Ken, you mean Ken wasn't here? I thought it was one of Ken's specials. Sorry about that. We had a little malfunction with the mic.
Ken Dawes came in.
No. Ken is our man in Londonderry.
Right. Okay.
John Darcy, singer-songwriter. Nice to
Hiya.
see you. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Good. And you've got a single out tomorrow, and I have a little copy of it clutched in my hand.
I do. It's called Get Over Yourself, as
Okay.
I can read off the cover.
I see that. Now, you're going to sing it for us, but it's a hard song to sing, isn't it?
I write them like that. Yeah.
Because
it's,
I just heard
it's
you.
a punk song.
All right.
It's out on Good Vibrations. You see, Terry Hooley's record label,
That's right.
which your friend Michael Bradley was signed to as well
Yes,
at one
indeed.
stage or another.
Indeed.
But the cover art as well is actually inspired by the Undertones' Teenage Kicks first single.
Yeah,
It's
right.
that kind of big,
Yeah.
big bold letters. So I'm just talking about him as always in here.
I was walking past the shop last night, and I was at a record shop down in near Smithfield. I can't remember what it's called. I wish I knew because a great shop. And the guy was locking up, you see.
Right.
And he said, look, he said, have you read Terry's book? And it was in the window. I said, no, I didn't get a copy. He said, why don't you buy one? I went, do you realise who you're talking to here? Have you read Terry's book, have you?
I've read bits and pieces of it, yeah.
I haven't read it. I must read it.
It's funny. There's good pictures as well.
Good. I must have a look at it. You're launching the single tomorrow?
Yeah, we're launching it in Terry's shop, Good Vibes,
Okay.
in Wine Tavern Street in Belfast, around the back of Smithfield. That's probably the record shop you walk past.
What time at?
It's at about 4 o'clock, and there's going to be snacks and drinks and all that kind of thing, and we're going to play the single on the stereo and stuff, and then me and my band are going to play a few tunes as well.
Hope you're not going to have finger food and nibbles.
Finger food and nibbles, chips and dips.
Vinegar wine.
What?
Vinegar wine. No,
I heard.
BBC wine. We have plenty of wine here like that. We'll ship you down some. You just
Oh,
you
brilliant.
take one sip and you go, "Ah," and that's it. So what have you been doing recently? Are you doing any gigs coming up or what?
Yeah, I've been gigging away with the band, The Great Bunch of Lads. Which is like
Oh, that's
my
their
third piece
name?
band. Yeah,
That's
John
not a
Darcy
comment
and the
upon
Great
them.
Bunch of Lads.
All right.
Well, they are as well.
Okay,
It's
right.
completely descriptive of them.
All right then.
So we've been gigging away around Belfast, and got a few more gigs coming up in the next week, but I can't, or not the next month, but I can't remember them. So if people could check out johndarcy.com, that would get them sorted.
John Darcy, D hyphen no
Oh, just
apostrophe
plain,
ARC.
just,
right?
just,
Oh no,
just
D.
all the letters. JOHNDARCY.com.
All right, look at the time marching on. We have to give you time to sing this.
Oh,
Now,
flip.
so where are you launching it again tomorrow?
It's in Good Vibrations record shop, which is in Wine Tavern Street in Belfast.
It's probably the one I walked past last time. I don't know. I don't know anywhere. What do
Out the
I
back
know?
of Castle Court.
I'm too busy going up one-way street.
You'll probably hear us anyway, because we're going to have a bit of a rock set up on the pavement outside the shop, so
Well,
it'll be blasting everybody.
where else could a man go on a Saturday afternoon? All right, John, get over yourself. Thank you very much for coming in. This is your new single.
Thanks, Gerry. Get over yourself. Susie's got a key and she's gonna make it easy to stay up tonight. Sipping anything but water with her face getting hotter tells me that she feels alright. I met her at a show, but I don't think she knows now. Face is kinda blurred sometimes. Sucking on a lemon, wipes it off in her denim. I think she thinks she's fine. She's acting like she runs the place now. I'll get it through to her somehow. I don't think it's cool to be in love with you. Get over yourself. So in the scene, but you're not in my team. Get over yourself. Susie spilled her drink, so I bought her another. She poured it down her throat and left. To stand out in the cold in a dress full of potholes, left her by her cigarette. She's talking lots of trash, thinking no one will hear her. Yeah, she got a lot of nerve. Biting on her lip, acting totally harmless. We'll give her what she deserves. She's acting like she runs the place now. I'll get it through to her somehow. I don't think it's cool to be in love with you. Get over yourself. So in the scene, but you're not in my tape. Get over yourself. I don't think it's cool to be in love with you. Get over yourself. so in the scene, but you're not in my team. Get over yourself.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, Gerry.
That was well worth the trip.
It definitely was.
Best of luck tomorrow.
Cheers, Gerry. See you soon.
While over in Africa mining for gold, oh, mining for gold. Come along, a big lion caught me in my hole, ole, caught me in my hole. The lion said, buddy, you plumb out of luck, ole, you plumb out of luck. Made a lunch for me, Lord, I had to duck, ole, I had to duck. I jabbed that lion right clean in the jaw, oh, right clean in the jaw. Picked up his tail, dragged him across the floor, ole, dragged him across the floor. I chained him up in the back of my truck, oh, in the back of my truck. Said, what's that you had to say about luck, ole, that you said about luck? The first place I took him was 10 miles away, oh, 10 miles away. So the people listen what this lion can say, ole, what this lion can say. The lion looked round, he started to cry, oh, he started to cry. Said this man punched me and he blackened my eye, ole, and he blackened my eye. The people got angry, they started to shout, ole. Lion said, that's what I was talking about, ole. Oh, They hauled me up the courthouse stairs, up the courthouse stairs. The judge was a monkey in an old wicker chair, old lady in an old wicker chair. The monkey said guilty and the people all cheered, oh, the people all cheered. He slammed his gavel, said 25 years, old lady said 25 years. Hey, mate.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
The BBC News at 11 o'clock. I'm Emma Louise Johnston. The Prison Service has today started the search for a new Director General to replace Robin Macefield, who will step down before the end of the year. Our Home Affairs correspondent Vincent Kearney reports.
The Northern Ireland Prison Service has been heavily criticised in a series of inspection reports in recent years. Robin Macefield will step down as Director General in the next few weeks, so the service today advertised the job, inviting applications for what it describes as a very demanding leadership role. The successful candidate will earn an annual salary of up to £160,000 and won't have their troubles to seek. In addition to dealing with budget cuts, the new Director General will be expected to stem the consistent criticism and tackle the powerful Prison Officers Association, which has been described as an obstacle to change.
The veteran broadcaster Jim Dougal has died. He worked in a number of media organisations, including the BBC and RTE. A former head of BBC's News and Current Affairs, Keith Baker, said he made a big contribution to Northern Ireland journalism.
He had a very engaging way of doing interviews. It wasn't belligerent, it wasn't hectoring, but he was insistent nevertheless, and he managed to get answers from people with that particular style of his that maybe other people wouldn't have been able to achieve.
A British aid worker and a local man have been kidnapped by gunmen in Somalia. Their employer, Save the Children, says the two men were taken from a small town near the Ethiopian border. Peter Grest reports from Nairobi.
According to initial reports, gunmen raided the house that Save the Children had been using as a staff residence in Adado on Thursday evening. High walls and a heavy steel gate forced the kidnappers to climb in through a window before they fled with their hostages into an area said to be controlled by Al-Shabaab, the Islamist rebels fighting to overthrow the government. The Foreign Office says it is aware of the reports and is urgently investigating.
And with the weather details, here's Cecilia Daly.
Rather cloudy for most, with some patchy rain moving south, which should clear again by early afternoon, and some places, especially in the southeast, will stay dry. This afternoon, clouds will break again to reveal a few bright or sunny intervals, breezier than of late and cool as a result, with a high of 13, perhaps 14 Celsius. Tonight will be dry and chilly in the south, with lows of 3 or 4 degrees.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news. Traffic's down to one lane on the A26 Glenavy Road because of roadworks. This has been causing tailbacks, particularly from Moira towards Nuts Corner roundabout. And in County Down, Greencastle Street in Kilkeel is closed until 7 this evening, as well as all day Sunday. Then tomorrow night, the Sydenham bypass will be shut both ways between the M3 and Tilliesburn. And finally, at the International Airport, the 11 o'clock arrival from Glasgow is delayed to 12:10. Anne Jordan reporting. Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
And Wendy Austin here. Talkbacks at 12 o'clock today. Gerry, Sammy Wilson's going to be on, Finance Minister, live on Talkback at 12:30.
He'll have a tale to tell.
Won't he just? And he'll be taking your calls. So get them in as soon as the lines open at 12.
He won't be taking mine.
No, you don't think you'll be hit by the cuts?
Indeed, yes. You see, and people in the Northwest are not hit by any cuts because nobody's any money anyway, so everything just goes on as usual.
That's probably true, yeah. Well, we'll be asking him how deep he thinks the cuts will be, and there'll be a lot of people also putting forward what they consider are alternatives to slashing public spending, suggestions from business, from the third sector, health, education, construction, and if you have any ideas on that yourself, what you're prepared to give up, you can give him a shout after 12.
Mm-hmm. Listen, Sean Coyle was just wondering, how's your leg these days?
My leg's fine, thank you very much.
Okay.
I keep my titanium knee in good condition, thanks, Gerry.
All right then,
Gerry,
Wendy.
I'll tell you one other thing we're talking about
Yes.
too, and I'm sure you knew him as well. We're all very sad here today at the news that Jim Dougal has died.
Yes.
Former colleague, truly lovely man. A real gentleman, and we'll be talking about him, and Bertie Ahern will be among those paying tribute to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a really nice man. And his son, actually, I used to feature him on this programme, still do. He's a rapper with a band called Diablo. And a very nice young man, and a very talented young man he is too, and I'm sure he'll be shattered at the death of his dad.
He will indeed.
Okay. Right,
much
Wendy.
too soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gerry.
See you later. Bye. Now my record doesn't play. Would you hear that?
Started in June when the wind was hot on my skin, and in the sunlight didn't realize you would win. Good with your words, had to find out it was a sin to tell me that a rainbow is a trick sacred like a book that only I could read just for me. And all that black ink, I can turn these pages and let me leave. Oh, but you told me rainbows were tricks of the light. 'Cause didn't I know it only rained here at night? You told me flowers, they don't smell good. It's just something that I believe to be true. Say goodbye to rainbows and now I'm gone. I guess you do.
Drive out to the ocean just to gaze out to the sea. You see us coming, you run away from me. We all know that you're alive, and we watch you try and hide, but you don't know that we'll try and find you again. You to be free, but can you still not stay with me? Monopoly every night, get out of jail for free. We all know that you're alive, and we want you try and hide, but you don't know that we'll try and find you. I wish we had a car, we could run so fast, we could make it out of here, 'cause I've done the math. And then we fall from the top and they stare at us, but I don't know why. Make a show. I wish we had the time, we could write it down, but I don't know where. I wish you wore glasses, then I look so cool. You ask me my hair every dance floor. I swap my brother for a broken card. Shiny dress on. I say I wish you wore glasses, then I look so cool. You ask me my hair every dance floor. I swap my brother for a broken card. Shiny dress on.
It's a number of Derry accents there, you'll notice that. That's an album called Oh Yeah, and I'm just looking for it now to tell you the details of that. Would you think I'd have it in front of me? But you see, I had a moment ago. I haven't now, but I will have it in a second. Sorry about that. That's the Wonder Villains, and before that, the Wonder Villains. I know I'm talking too quickly. The Wonder Villains, and before that, I'll give you details about that when I get the album sleeve. Wouldn't you think it would be here? And before that was a very, very fine singer-songwriter called Naomi O'Rourke, and I think she's from Newcastle. I'm not quite sure. I know she's gone to London to live now, but she's going to come in here sometime when she comes back for a bit of a holiday. I think she's a student. She's of Indian parentage, a beautiful, beautiful girl, and what a great singer and songwriter and piano player. Fantastic. Right, some messages from the great people outside. Gerry, that man has not been everywhere because he didn't mention Oma. Let's not try and be parochial here. Just because a man doesn't mention Oma doesn't mean anything. Good morning, Gerry. I'm looking to hear Little Feet Rock and Roll Doctor. Thanks, Gerry. You play the best music on Radio Ulster. That's Stuart Bailey. Well, he does, actually. Well, but I'm not him, you see. Play The Road Goes On Forever. No, I can't play that. I played that too often and people think it's too long. I like it. Your signal is dropping out, says John in Coleraine. Well, I think that's pleasantly evil. Well done to the Chilean miners as the world rejoices at their rescue. Liam Rice wants to know, did the last man turn the lights out? That's a great Johnny Cash tribute, Gerry. Thumbs up. That's from Mark in Lurgan. And a gentleman takes me to task for something I said earlier on the programme. A gentleman says you opened the programme with that old chestnut often heard on the death of a very old person. Obviously, Stephen was, quite upset he was at the death of one of the people who, Essie, a long-time contributor to the programme. And she used to come on at the end, and him and I used to josh her because I used to think she sounded like a duck. With regard to Essie's sad demise at 85, you stated categorically to Mr. Nolan that you and he would never see that age. What nonsense. What nonsense? Have you ever seen Nolan? Do you know how he lives? He'd be lucky to hit 40. And me, well, I'm a little older than that, but I'm just sitting here waiting for my past life to catch up on me. I don't know how I've made it so far. Someone's going to hit me with a bang, I'm telling you. The things that I've done. I mean, it's amazing I'm able to walk. But I'm okay for some strange reason. I don't know what it is. I've done everything that will kill me, and I'm all right. I think maybe that's because I'm all right, because if you're careful, you kind of drop. Anyway, for a start, you have no idea how long you will live, and you should just leave that to God. I don't trust him. No, I'd rather leave it up to myself. Only yesterday I heard the same sentiment expressed several times at the funeral of a man of 88. It seemed to be one of those cliches that people come out with when they can think of nothing more useful to say. I have two uncles who have been coming out with this particular piece of wisdom for the past 30 years, and one is now 79 and the other is 82. Listen, I think it's all about genes. I don't think it matters what you do. I think you should smoke away and drink away. I don't really think as long as you don't smoke and drink to excess, in which case you damage your body. But I mean, if you just smoke an odd time and get the odd bit of whiskey into you, I don't think it does any harm. I talked about my uncle before, my Uncle Manny. He lived to be 90 years old. He never ate a vegetable in his life, never ate a piece of fruit. What he used to do was he had 2 meals a day. In the morning he had porridge. And then at lunchtime he had a big pile of potatoes and buttermilk and butter with a big pile of salt on the table. He never ate meat, and at night he'd have the same again. He smoked 60 Capstan a day, and he drank a bottle of whiskey a day, and at night he had a half bottle and he put it under his pillow. And he used to wake up in the middle of the night and have nips of it. I remember saying to him one time, I said, you're drinking a bottle of whiskey a day. And he said, it's not really, he said. You see, there's about, say, 20 halfins, he said, in a bottle there, right? He said, I would have maybe a halfin every hour, over the 24. Sure, a halfin every hour, so that wouldn't do any harm. And I said to myself, he's absolutely right. He died when he was 90. And he was great. He looked into the fire for 60 years, and every once in a while he'd go, hey! That's the way I want to live. Finally, but you can't do that in the BBC. They've no fires, and if you sit at the front of a fire in the BBC and go, hey! They might take away your pension. Not that I have one. I haven't got a pension. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'll have to go out and busk. I won't retire then. But they'll throw me out. I'll be old and a stick. Anyway, lest you think, back to the letter, sorry, I'm getting lost here. Lest you think I'm unduly critical, you later reinstated yourself into the realms of normality by telling us you have no time for Bono or U2. Bravo, I say. What a refreshing attitude in the face of the universal kowtowing. Well, you see, I love the opinion that if you meet people before they're famous and you discover that they're quite unpleasant, the chances of them changing really are quite slim. I've always thought that.
All the lies that you told me,
all these tears that I've cried, and all the loving you gave me, well, it was a lie. I could never imagine when I felt so high that there could be somebody new, better than you in my life. When I woke up this morning with these tears in my eyes, well, I never felt more like just saying goodbye. And I could never imagine when I felt so high that there could be somebody new, better than you in my life. Well, am I just fooling myself? Or could there be somebody else? Or could there be somebody new waiting round the corner? Yes, there is, waiting for you, waiting for someone like you. Just fooling myself, or could there be somebody else? Or could there be somebody new waiting round the corner? Yes, there is, waiting for you, waiting for someone like you. All the lies that you told me, and all these tears that I've cried, and all the loving you gave me, well, it was a lie. And I could never imagine when I felt so high that there could be somebody new, better than you in my life. But now there's somebody new. She
in my
That's Paul Hull. That's a song written by Christy Hennessy, the late Christy Hennessy, called All the Lies You Told Me. Now, I was talking to a lady yesterday, and I said that I had heard that, and I didn't think it was as good as the original. Well, I had a good listen to it, and I take that back. It's different, and it's good. That's excellent. Paul Hull, P-A-U-L, H-U-L-L, All the Lies That You Told Me. And is there an email address? I'm looking here. No, there's not. Yes, there is. Hull. You can contact him on Hullrocks, Hullrox at hotmail.co.uk. I'm sure you get the copy of that if you want it. Anybody watching the news, some messages from the people outside, anyone watching, people outside known as the listeners, anyone watching the news footage of those people getting rescued from their ordeal, great to see the smiles back in their grubby little faces and the faint glimmers of hope that all will be well in their pathetic, mundane lives. Well, you know, that sounds cruel, but it's not. Because think about it. If you had never heard of those people, they would still be 2 miles down underneath the desert in Chile. And that's no place to be honest. And they're going to be stars now, and good luck to them. Make a lot of money, and they may never have to go down again. Gemeinschaft. I still hope Everton beat them on Sunday, though, you see. And some other messages here. Gerry, could you possibly repeat the name of who sang the song you played just before the news bulletin? Well, I've been very remiss, actually. I didn't tell the people who it was at all. And before the news bulletin was an artist, once again, introduced to me by Ralph McLean, C.W. Stone King. That's his name or whatever. C.W. Stone King. And it's C.W. S-T-O-N-E-K-A-N-G. That's it. And it's called The Talkin' Non-Blues. And the first track I played on after the news was the track from the Oh Yeah Contenders album of New Northern Ireland Music. It's called The Wonder Villains, and the track was called Ferrari. There we go. And I was at the Captain Kennedy album launch in Auntie Annie's in Belfast on Monday past, which was a great night. They have a second launch tonight in the Railway Bar in Lurgan for anyone who might be interested. Their album is brilliant, as is their live show, so you should entertain the idea of having them in for a session. That'd be great. Preferably before I move to Australia at the end of the month. Like Gerry, I wouldn't watch U2 if they were playing in the back garden, but that first tune definitely is very similar. You see, people think that. I'd put that to the band. Bit of unfairness this morning on your show, Gerry. Well, what else is new? Why did Paul Dara get a mention on your show when, in actual fact, a more deserving case for a mention would be myself, John Miskimmon, the owner of the radio, which we use to listen to your programme each morning? Please undo this wrong. Consider it done. Ask John Darcy, is he leaving music for university? I hear he's gone to Queen's. What? Left rock and roll for university? What kind of a traitor is that? What was the name of the yodel song you played? I don't know what a yodel song is. I think it's the one you're talking about. Hi, Gerry. There must be a lot of southeastern English people living over the border because Bono is in the running for one of Ireland's greats. Yeah, that shouldn't be allowed now. That shouldn't have been allowed. Andy in Cookstown, is that Kenny Archer singing without remembering to put his teeth in? No, Kenny always puts his teeth in. I've watched him doing it. Jerry, Humphrey McGonigal here, the third. Excellent show so far, oh boy. Missed the intro, the live band. Well, they'll be playing later. John Darcy's song is brilliant. Brings me back to the heyday of punk. And love John Darcy. You see, people like John Darcy's song. So do I. I'm going to play it at the very, very end after we have a bit of a session with the I Am Not Left-Handed. Gentleman on the phone here. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Gerry.
Hello, how are you?
Well, here, I seen you bouncing up Royal Avenue there yesterday with your wee Laird bomber on. You're like a whippet there. You said you're not going to live to 85. You must be joking, Gerry. There's a good 40 years left in you yet. You're about 46 now, aren't you?
Yes, I was thinking that myself.
Do you remember me saying, well, what about you?
I do, actually, yes, I remember.
You were walking into Castle Court now, you were bouncing up at Royal Avenue. I tell you what, Gerry, you're a fit man.
I'm full of joie de vivre. You see,
that's... You meet a border, what, Gerry?
No, that's a brand of brandy. No, I'm full of life and zest.
Gerry, I'm not joking to you. You're a very, very fit individual.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, whatever you're doing, keep it going, Gerry, because there's a good 40 years in you yet.
But I thought so too. I don't like saying that, you know.
Royal Avenue, I thought you owned it. You were like a whippet, you know, but...
As long as I didn't strut. That's the main
No,
thing.
no, no. I'll tell you what. You were as cool as a cucumber.
Well,
Seriously, Gerry, I'm not joking.
Well,
You
thank
were
you.
very, very cool, very relaxed, moving very fast. You'd be as smart like a whippet.
It's a shame I missed the Commonwealth Games.
Well, Gerry, I'll tell you what. Whatever I'm not joking. Whatever you're doing, you keep doing it, because I'll tell you what, you're a fit individual for 46.
Thank you. Well, the one thing I am doing is I used to be on 2 bottles of vodka a day, and now it's down to 1. I find it makes a difference.
Well, Gerry, that one bottle of vodka is doing you well. I'm telling you.
I'm trying to give it up
Are you taking Coke or
entirely.
anything with it? No. Are you taking Coke with it?
No, I'm not taking. No, I always drink it straight. It's quicker that way.
You go to a guzzler. You guzzle it right away, Gerry.
There are
Tell you
people.
what, you were looking very well there, kid.
No. Let me be honest with you. I thank you very much. That's a nice thing to say. Well, I'm actually kind of trying to look after myself. I'm trying not to get fat like Nolan.
Aye. Oh no, he's top heavy, isn't he?
Oh, he's going to drop dead soon.
Oh,
No, he won't. No, he won't. No, he's looking after himself.
I spotted him up in Bishop the other night.
Does he look fit?
He didn't. Well, he didn't look fit in that cubicle there, and he's not going to play supper in his Danny coat.
Somebody said to me yesterday, what would have happened if Nolan had been down the mine? How would they got him up? They'd have to bring him up in bits. No. It's listen to me chuckling and giggling about Nolan's weight. The very thing that she should not do. Nolan himself has been trying to lose the blubber and is doing extremely well. I haven't seen him now for a while, but I believe he's down like a knitting needle. I'm almost afraid to meet him because I walk past him in the street. Well, listen,
You're not talking to him this morning, no.
Yeah, but I don't see him, you see.
Oh, you don't see him, aye.
It doesn't allow me into his...
you don't see him, Gerry.
It doesn't allow me into his studio, and I don't allow him into mine. We operate from different places. Even though I'm in Belfast today, he's away on a different floor. And he's not allowed to come up here, and I'm not allowed to
You
go
probably
down
have to get
there.
an extension in your, if he was coming in to see you, would he?
You can see him on the TV. He's on the webcam, and I can see it, but I never look at it because it puts me off my breakfast.
Well, Gerry, you'd have to give him a tip how you look so well,
thank
yourself,
you.
and
That's
give him a wee bit of tuition there,
What a kind thing to say. Thank you very much. I think I may talk to you again on Monday.
All right, Gerry, good luck to you, son.
Thank you. Bye.
Gerry, keep that bouncing about, because I'll tell you what, you're like a whippet. Keep on going.
Thank
Keep
you.
on going. What about Sean? Was he top heavy, or what's he like?
He's like a great St. Bernard with a bottle of brandy round his neck.
Does he carry a bit of around the middle there, does he? No.
Well, let's put it this way. Last time he saw his feet was 1968. Cheerio. Bye. The gentleman who's in the studio last week, great singer-songwriter Tony McLaughlin.
No use in talking now. I made the grave. I guess I better be walking now. I'll ride the wind. Another time, another place. We'll meet again, and I'll see your face, and I'll ride the wind. I'll ride the wind. Feel the pain. You gotta feel it some old day. You might as well. The only way to make it go away. I'll ride the wind. Rise above these ashes now. Float away, float above all the passion now. Ride the wind, hey! I've got no need to take control. You might not see, but you saw my soul. I'll ride the wind. I'll ride the wind. Hey! and sound. On the other shore, fade to gray. We don't have to feel no more. Ride the wind. Ride the wind. Hey! Ride the wind. Ride the wind.
That's Ride the Wind. That's from Tony McLaughlin from his album, which is also called Ride the Wind. Look, you couldn't make that up. Did you see that story in the paper today? The ex-mayor of Belfast, Jim Rogers, was, he jumped over a woman who was dressed as a tomato and he hurt her and she got more than £20,000 compensation. You couldn't make that up, could you? You really couldn't. Man jumps over tomato and injures girl. Dear Gerry, a pall of grief and sadness hangs over Clogher today. This is from Rosie Ryan. In a head-on crash between a rally bicycle and a dung spreader, Benito McLaren came off worse and left his veil of tears in a deceased and dead state. Those who saw the accident said that he was ejaculated from his bicycle and hit the dung spreader with his head before you could say, "Ah, bisto." Benito was engulfed in a mountain of dung. No volunteers could be found to wade through the dung to find the dead cadaver. The priest gave the last rites, the police put up go slow signs, and everybody went home. Next morning, small farmer Willie McMegadump managed to put a rope round the poor Benito's neck and dragged him 100 yards behind his tractor to a babbling brook. 2 hours later, washed, he was pristine and as clean as a new pin. "Bring him home now," shrieked Benito's widow, wee Marigold. "Lay him on the bed, whilst I go and borrow 2 pennies to put over his wee eyes." The priest blessed Benito and said, "Just as Benito arose from the manure, so shall we arise on the last day. Praise the Lord," shrieked Nellie, like tumbleweed. Then, filled with the Holy Spirit, she fell down like a bag of spuds and hit her head against the poe under the bed. Just a flesh wound, no stitches required. As Benito was carried from the church, St. Judas choir lustily sang, "Yes, we shall gather by the river." My son Bon Jovi nudged me and said, "There still must be some dung in his nooks, crannies and crevices." Bon Jovi and I walked home, full of great sadness and pensivity. As I walked, Benito being lowered into the ground in an old cheap plywood coffin painted to look like mahogany, I thought I saw my own morality. Would I be judged wheat or chaff, sheep or goat? I revolved to change my ways and bless myself every time I saw a rainbow, as they do in the south of Ireland. As Bon Jovi and I rounded a corner, we came upon a man driving a car. "Look!" roared Bon Jovi. "It's a man driving a car." I never saw a cow and a man so close without interference from the police. "It was a cow called Miss Daisy." "A fine beast you've got there," said Bon Jovi. "She's a wee darling," the man said, "and she loves her daddy." "You love your daddy, don't you, Miss Daisy?" "Aye, Miss Daisy loves her wee daddy." "She would make a queer good rump steak," said Bon Jovi. The man turned eggshell white, covered Miss Davy's ears with his hands and screamed, "You wee hungry gulpin! How dare you talk about rump steak in front of Miss Daisy? She knows every word you say. She will live a long and happy life and be buried beside me in St. Judas's graveyard. The greatest pleasure in my life is driving Miss Daisy." And with a flounce of his Wellingtons, he continued to drive Miss Daisy down the road. As we walked on, the sun set in the west, as it normally does in the winter. Birds flew home for the night, and the odd locked-out sheepdog barked in the distance. Bon Jovi did a little dance, broke wind, and began to sing in a poor, loud, out-of-tune Golder, "Benito is dead as a bee. The great big..." No, I won't read that. It's unpleasant. No, it's not unpleasant. It's just, different. Where's them, boy?
Well, you must go, and I must stay. Oh, you go yours, and I will go my way. It feels like I've been hit by a train. Oh, it's going round and coming back. You're going up. I'm coming down. Oh, what goes round, you know will come around. But now that I am on a plane, oh, well, what goes up must come back down again. I'm going home, ah, baby, don't ask me why. I'm going home, I've been hanging on a while. And you're gone like you came. You're gone in a streetcar named Desire. I'd rather play the fool than I know I lost. Oh, when I lost you. Well, it's alright. You know your place. Oh, but don't you mind those laughing in your face. Well, you will live, and you will learn. Oh, you're going down that road of no return. Yeah. I'm going home, ah, baby, don't ask me why. I'm going home, it's too late to catch a fire. And you're gone like you came. You're gone in a streetcar named Desire. Yeah, you're gone in a streetcar named
That's Pete Molinari. If I knew the name of the song, I would tell you. We're joined now by I Am Not Left-Handed, namely Daniel and Catherine, right?
Yes.
I wrote those names down. Sarah, we're a wee bit later than usual today because we had to do a lot of fiddling about. Tell me how you're getting on. What have you been up to? You've been here before, of course.
We have, and we've been to the States since on a tour, which was fantastic. We loved it. So.
Well, were you touring with somebody? Or
No,
what
it
were
was
you
just ourselves.
Fantastic. Well, where did you go?
We did most of the top end of the East Coast and then all of the West Coast, which was quite
You're talking California here?
Yes, yes.
Wow, eh? And where did you play? Do you remember anywhere in particular you played that you enjoyed in California or whatever?
Surprisingly, Los Angeles was actually a really nice show. We were expecting it to be very standoffish because London crowds, where we come from, are quite weird to play to, but LA was really nice and friendly.
You know, it's strange because I've been to Los Angeles a couple of times, and anyone I've ever talked to, they don't like it, but I love it. I think people go there and expect it to be like somewhere else when they don't realise that it's not like anywhere else.
I think bands from there have a tough time kind of like in the same way that like bands that are based in London don't really enjoy playing London. I think LA bands don't enjoy playing LA, but to visit it's amazing. Crowds are fantastic.
Love it. I can't understand people say they can't bear it. I think it's because there's no centre.
Yeah.
There is no Los Angeles. It's just kind of things are there and it's there. It's not like you go to the city centre and say, "Oh, look, there's the town hall." It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't.
Did you go down to Venice Beach?
I've been before, but we didn't get to go this trip.
I hope you weren't looking at the men, the muscle men.
Of course I was.
Of course not. Well, tell me a bit about yourselves. I know you've been here before. Just tell me a wee bit about yourself. Daniel, sorry, where are you from, Daniel?
I'm from Belfast originally.
See? And Christine, you're not. Sorry, Catherine, you're not.
I'm from Mayo.
I know. And the two of you got together where?
In Dublin. I
Yes.
moved to Dublin when I was 7, and then we met several years after that.
Yeah.
No.
Started forming bands secretly without anyone knowing.
All right then. So, what have you been doing on the recording front recently, or how have things been going?
We just raised $10,000 to record an album through a site called Slice the Pie, which is really good. So we can offer shares in album sales. So obviously, the more we sell, like people get to make money back off it, which is lovely. So Yeah, we raised $10,000. We hit that a couple of weeks ago.
So you buy shares in your band, basically?
Yeah, essentially. And kind of it's pre-sales as well, and then we had a level of incentive. So like a box set, or for I think 200, if you invest 250, it was like, we'll write a song for you or something, or you
No,
can feature in the
250
video.
was like, we'll come cook you dinner in your house. And then
Yeah.
500 was we would write a song for you. And yeah, we had like varying levels up the ranks.
And
stuff.
how much do you charge to beat up people's enemies?
Oh, we didn't
Oh,
think
I
of that.
didn't
We
think
should
of
have
that.
talked to you first.
So can you still do that?
You can. We're not through the site anymore, but if you go to iamnotleft-handed.com, there's a link to invest, and it goes straight to us at PayPal, and you can invest as much or as little as you have.
I have never heard of that before. Have you heard of other people doing that, or is it just an idea that you had
It's quite a
yourself?
modern thing. Like I think through the internet, there's lots
Yeah.
of, because record labels they're more focusing on bigger and bigger acts. They're finding it hard to invest in new people. So the internet gives you access to the whole world, really. Because I feel like our fans are spread very thinly across the entire world.
Yeah.
Like one person in every state of America.
Okay, well let's hear some of your music to see if we will invest in it.
This one's called. Is this the one that's about? It's a free download off
Yeah,
the site. At
to
the
celebrate raising our target, we're giving this one away from our site as a
Yes.
free download.
Okay.
Two, three, four.
So I know that this might calm down, and I know I could sink and not drown, but treading all nights getting old, and sunrise these days leaves me cold. I know I can't turn this around. 'Cause when I cut your lifeline, I started falling so far I couldn't look back. When I cut your lifeline, you were calling so far I couldn't look back. So no more of the long walks through town, and no more talks of who let who down. Though now I've said all my goodbyes, my mind is filled with kind replies. I know, I know. 'Cause when I cut your lifeline, I started falling so far I couldn't look back. When I cut your lifeline, you were calling so far I couldn't shout back.
Settle down, let it all settle down, let it all settle down, let it all settle down.
'Cause when I cut your lifeline, I started falling so far
I couldn't look back.
When I cut your lifeline, you were calling so hard
I couldn't shout back.
nice, thank you. Now, your website again is iamnotleft-handed.com.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. Now, I played a track at the very start of the programme from your, what did you call it, an extended?
An EP, yeah.
I never know what to call those. I never know. You used to call them EP, but you feel funny calling a CD an EP, don't you?
I think half the trick is just to decide it's something and run with it. So.
Tell them what it is.
Yeah.
I played a track called Boats Swept Away. It's called Time to Leave, by the way. And people said it sounded like you too.
Really?
Do you think so?
That's
we had 3 or 4 callers saying was that you too? And it never occurred to me.
really funny. No, usually we just get Cranberries comparisons because obviously I've short hair. I'm an Irish singer. So.
Yes, you look a wee bit kind of an Irish. No, you don't look like. What do you call that girl out of Cranberries? Dolores Reardon. You don't look like her, but you've got short hair.
Yeah, it ticks the
Irish
boxes.
accent. That would be enough for most people.
So
wouldn't
that's
it?
generally what. Yeah, we got that a lot in America.
It's like
so.
saying that I look like George Clooney, which is not true. You can vouch for that.
Oh.
Because of this. Well, I'm older than him. Anyway, stop that. Listen, do another one for us because we're running out of time here. So tell us about this or what?
Which one do you want to do?
Alone.
Do Alone. This one we'll be playing tonight in Lavery's.
Oh, sorry. Where are you playing? You're in Lavery's tonight?
Lavery's Bunker tonight.
Okay,
yeah.
So what other gigs are you doing around here?
We're
any?
playing in Derry next Wednesday. Our first show in Derry ever.
Where are you playing there?
Mason's Bar and Magazine Street.
I used to play there.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's great. Rock and roll.
Oh,
Rock and roll.
Excellent.
Mason's Bar on Wednesday night. You're in Lavery's tonight. Okay. And any other ones you want to mention?
Well, we're in Galway on Monday night in Rushing Doves.
Yeah, and Dublin on Thursday. And then
okay.
Going to the studio for recording.
Well, that's the 2 main ones because most people who are listening would be able to go to either of those. So that's Lavery's tonight and Mason's in Derry, Londonderry. You have to say that.
Oh.
Yeah. On Wednesday night, or Derry, Londonderry.
Stroke City.
We'll do another little one. Stroke City, yes, that's it. But they don't call it Stroke City. I christened it Stroke City, but they don't call it anymore. They call it Legendary.
Oh, really?
The new kid on the block. I don't like it. Stop you coughing now. You're going to sing.
That's true. I apologise.
Yeah, this is a new one that'll be on the album coming out when we go recording after this.
And when will that album be coming out?
We're going to hopefully record November, December, so it'll probably come out in March-ish time. We're back in the States for another tour in March, and then maybe an Irish tour after that. So.
Okay, then. We may not have time for another one, so sorry we're a wee bit short today, but
that's all right.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. I am not left-handed.com for all your information if you want to buy a share.
You are absolutely welcome to, and we will cook as many cakes as it takes to get this album made. So yeah.
Okay then. Okay, and by all means, when you get the album out, will you come back again?
Oh, love to.
Oh, please do because it's good to have you.
You get the first copy,
and you've lost your Belfast accent.
It comes and goes. The more time I
spend. Ashamed of yourself. All right, then. Thank you very much, folks, and away you go.
2, 3, 4.
It's not so bad alone. My fridge makes a noise that lets me know I'm home. And the milk in my bones says this isn't the darkest night I've known. I know that this isn't the darkest night I've known. I'd walk some miles to sleep, but there's nowhere to run and no lights on my street. And my shoe at the stone says this isn't the darkest night I've known. I know that this isn't the darkest night I've known. I know that this isn't the darkest night I've known.
And this is where I lie this whole night. The fire and the sight through no light. And this is where I'll hide. And this is where I'll hide.
It's not not so bad. Oh. My fridge makes a noise that lets me know I'm home. And the milk in my bones says this isn't the darkest night I've known. I know that this isn't the darkest night I've known. I know that this isn't the darkest night I've known.
And this is where I'll lie this whole night. The fire and the sight through no light. And this is where I'll hide. And this is where I'll hide. And this is where I'll lie this whole night. The fire and the sight through no light. And this is where I'll hide. And this is where I'll hide.
Susie's got a key and she's gonna make it easy to stay up tonight. Sipping anything but water with her face getting hotter. It tells me that she feels alright. I met her at a show, but I don't think she knows that this is kind of blur sometimes. Sucking on a lemon, wipes it off in her denim. I think she thinks I think she's fine. She's acting like she runs the place now. I'll get it through to you somehow. I don't think it's cool to be in love with you. Get over yourself. So messy, but you're not in my tape. Get over yourself. Susie spilled her drink, so I bought her another. She poured it down her throat and left to stand out in the cold in a dress full of potholes. Left her by her cigarette. She's talking lots of trash, thinking no one will hear her. Yeah, she got a lot of nerve. Biting on her lip, acting totally harmless. We'll give her what she deserves. She's acting like she runs the place now. I'll get it through to you somehow. I don't think it's cool to be in love with you. Get over yourself. So in that scene, but you're not in my tape. Get over yourself. I don't think it's cool to be in love with you. Get over yourself. So in the scene, but you're not in my tape. Get over yourself. I don't think it's cool to be in love with you. Get over yourself. So in the scene, but you're not in my tape. Get over yourself.
That was John Darcy, of course. He sang that song earlier on. It's called Get Over Yourself. There's a bit of Van Morrison to finish off. The band you just heard was I Am Not Left-Handed, and they're playing in Lavery's tonight and in Mason's in Derry Stoke, Londonderry next Wednesday, so go along and see them.
If it matters how you do it and how you do it is your thing. If it matters which way you go,
that's your way to go. And if you get it like that, that's the way you get it. 'Cause you get it like that when you want to be that way. When you wanna be that way, that's the way you wanna be. See,
I think it's pretty clear that Van Morrison's having a laugh here.
it's alright. It's alright. Now what you try to do to me, out there walking doesn't matter, baby. Ain't no question, no suggestion.